Perdana. The first question to you is actually, as the founder and initiator of several organizations, what is actually the key background for you to really perseverance in doing all these kind of things, particularly for Humanitarian Forum Indonesia? Thank you.
Alhamdulillah, wassalamu ala Rasulullah. When we started, just this is a message for the young people in the room or young people outside who have no knowledge, no experience, no fund, no resources, no vision even. This is when we started in 1984 to respond to the famine in Ethiopia, in Eritrea and Tigray, which claimed the life of hundreds of thousands of people. We had the heart and we had the feeling towards people, and the only slogan was help, help, help. Yes, we wanted to help, nothing else. 20 years later, after I was working in humanitarian response with Islamic Relief as one of the graduates of Islamic Relief, we started to look at the outside world when I became a president of Islamic Relief, to have more time to think, more time to travel, more time to see people. I traveled nearly 90 countries, 86, 87, 88 countries, and many times, each one of them. When I went to all this created a vision that humanitarian work is the first step, not the final and the ultimate goal for any organization. We started as a humanitarian worker. When I became a president, having the time to travel and think and meet people, we thought about creating Humanitarian Forum and Muslim Charities Forum. Muslim Charities Forum to coordinate the work between Muslim charities in UK. Now it is 16 years old, have about 17 or 18 organizations, largest organization in UK. Humanitarian Forum was more difficult because it took me to travel to 14 countries to have the non-agenda meeting. All our consultation during that time from London to Indonesia, Malaysia, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Turkey, South Africa, and the others, 14 countries. We were discussing this to the respect of the local community. Listen to this. We do not impose our language on them. We did not impose our agenda on them. My role was to contact the local organization to organize one-day meeting, to ask them one simple question: what's your problems? The discussion was in the local language, in the local culture, in Bahasa, Malay, in Arabic, in English, in Turkish, in Bengali, in Urdu, and I was listening, sitting, doing nothing more than opening the meeting, nothing else. And you know what? You know what? You're not sure. Remember in England?
Yes, in England.
In England was a friend of mine.
Okay.
He was the first UN OCHA man to come and attend our meeting in 2004 in UK. We invited him from New York. He came, Richard Cross was there, the German, the British Foreign Office, a lot of people for the first meeting of Humanitarian Forum to discuss what's Humanitarian Forum going to be. And with no agenda meeting, we found that all the organizations in the 14 countries have 5 problems. First of all, communication networking, which we're still discussing it nowadays. Second point was capacity building. Third point was good governance. Fourth point was not knowing the humanitarian standard and the humanitarian principles. Those 4 points were the outcome of 14 consultations attended by nearly 1,000 organizations in 14 countries about nearly less than 1 year. Okay? We added to it bridge building. As Islamic Relief, I was there, added to it bridge building. So bridge building, communication networking, capacity building, good governance, and knowing the humanitarian principles. At that time, this was their problems. Okay, sister?
Yeah. May I translate?
Oh, I can translate. Go on.
Just not translate, just
No,
summarize.
go on, go on.
Oke. Jadi teman-teman, ketika ditanya apa yang menjadi dasar beliau untuk melakukan kegiatan selama ini, termasuk pendirian HFI, beliau menyampaikan pada tahun 1984 itu, beliau mengatakan tidak banyak pengetahuan yang dimiliki oleh para pelaku kemanusiaan, tidak juga memiliki sumber daya, tidak juga memiliki hal-hal yang diperlukan dalam melakukan kegiatan kemanusiaan. Dan waktu itu beliau kemudian 20 tahun kemudian melihat bahwa urusan kemanusiaan adalah urusan yang harusnya menjadi nomor satu, bukan urusan yang kemudian menjadi nomor sekian dari kegiatan-kegiatan yang kita lakukan. Nah, kemudian beliau membentuk yang namanya Muslim Church Forum, yang forum ya, yang dimana kemudian menggali pemikiran-pemikiran. Dan pada tahun 2000, sebentar saya lihat tadi HFI itu tahun 2004 ya, 2008 ya. Kemudian beliau berkeliling ke 14 negara untuk bertemu dengan lokal community, komunitas lokal, karena beliau menyampaikan bahwa apa yang ingin dibentuknya itu harus datang dari komunitas dengan bahasa yang dipahami oleh komunitas, dan kemudian menggunakan bahasa di komunitas tersebut dan budaya di komunitas tersebut. Kemudian beliau menyampaikan bahwa Yan Neglen, waktu itu Yan Neglen adalah Emergency Relief Coordinator, pimpinan OCHA, dia juga Under Secretary General. Beliau ikut serta diundang dan beliau menemukan 5 hal yang menjadi permasalahan besar. Yang pertama adalah jejaring komunikasi, yang kedua adalah pengembangan kapasitas, ketiga adalah good governance, tata kelola, keempat adalah pemahaman tentang standar mengenai prinsip-prinsip kemanusiaan. Kemudian beliau menambahkan bridge building, membangun jembatan antara para pelaku tersebut. Please, can you continue?
Thank you. Carry on or you carry on?
Yes, no, you carry on.
People quite often talk about resilience. For me, resilience is equality between the INGO, CBOs, and other local organizations. I made quite a few acronym to decide or to define the relationship between INGO and local organization. First one is called FAT-KISS, F-A-T. The second acronym is KISS. F-A-T is the role of INGO. F stands for funding, A standing for training, A stands for advocacy, T standing for training. This is your role. You're Nocha. This is your role. Islamic Relief. This is your role. Oxfam. My role as a local organization is to give you the KISS. K is knowledge-based. I is innovative. S is sustainable. S is solution. We are at equal footage. You give me the fat, I give you the KISS. You got it?
I got it. Very much. May I?
Yeah, you can.
Ya?
But don't give me the KISS.
No, of course. Jadi teman-teman, beliau menyampaikan bahwa resilience, ketangguhan, itu banyak dibicarakan. Tapi buat beliau, resilience adalah equality, kesamaan, kesetaraan, ya. Dan antara hubungan INGO, CBO dengan local organization lainnya, beliau mempunyai istilah akronim singkatan, yaitu FAT-KISS, FAT-KISS. FAT itu adalah apa yang dilakukan oleh lembaga-lembaga internasional, yaitu funding, advocacy, dan training. Lalu dari pihak teman-teman lokal, nasional, organization itu adalah KISS, knowledge base, innovation, sustainable solution. Dan kita duduk bersama-sama dalam kesetaraan untuk membangun kolaborasi bersama.
Thank you. The second acronym, or the third acronym, is A, hope.
Okay.
This is how to build partnership. This is how to build partnership. A standing for alternative. H, humanitarian. O, operational. P, partnership. E, engagement. Alternative, humanitarian, operational, partnership, engagement. I cannot build a partnership with anybody unless I operationally engage with them. So don't come to me as INGO and give me some money, tell you are my partners, or just give me a workshop. No, you have to take me hand by hand, operationally, to be engaged in creating the success story, you and me. So alternative, humanitarian, operational, partnership, engagement. A hope. You give me a hope, I give you a kiss.
Oke. Akronim kedua adalah A-HO. A-nya adalah alternatif, H-nya adalah humanitarian, O-nya operasional, P-nya partnership, dan E-nya adalah engagement. Beliau menyampaikan bahwa tanpa ada kolaborasi atau engagement, hubungan operasional, tidak dapat terbentuk partnership atau kemitraan yang akan efektif. Please.
Who are we as humanitarian workers? Whether we are international or we are local. We are the servants of the people, who serve the people and who are paid by the people to stand for the people and to fight for the rights of the people. The people are our employers. They pay our salary, they pay our cost of living. This is the relationship between us and the poor people. This is number one. Our organization does not belong to a leader or to a group or to a theologian. It belongs to the community. The ownership of all our organizations should belong to the community. And this is the ownership. Our knowledge, experience, and expertise are community-based. If you ask somebody about myself, they will tell you, Hani al-Banna is the creation of Sudan. It's the creation of Pakistan, Bangladesh, the creation of Bosnia. I learned a lot from the suffering. So I belong to them. And I say that the poor people in Sudan and in Bosnia, the first 4 or 5 countries that I visited, actually were and they still are my teachers. And I have got special sentimental feeling towards my teachers who taught me when I was ignorant about the humanitarian work. So local community is a scholar teaching everybody what to do, how to do, where to go, why to go there and not to go there. It's point number 3. Point number 4, I said this. We should not ever, and listen to me, and when I use my right finger like this, you know that I'm serious. No worship to organization leader, no worship to founder, no worship to logo, and no worship to ego. We fail to communicate because we are ego-driven and logo-driven. Who is next? Who is first? It's me only. Wrong. If you say it's me only, you don't belong to the community. The ego and logo and the founder syndrome are diseases. You should treat them, your nature. And our duties as organization is to create the atmosphere which make this happens. Communication, knowledge sharing, coordination, and partnership. Because we are the INGO or the national NGO or the GGO, we have to create an atmosphere to allow everybody to communicate, share knowledge, coordinate, and build partnership. Because we cannot do it alone. We cannot do it alone. The whole world could not be able to stand for tsunami 2004, 2005. It needs all of us to coordinate. If we don't coordinate, we fail. Yes, sir.
Yang ketiga, beliau tadi menyampaikan bahwa kita, para pelaku kemanusiaan adalah pelayan masyarakat. Kita melayani, kita menjaga semangat kemanusiaan, kita mempertahankan apa yang kita lakukan adalah untuk mereka yang menjadi orang-orang miskin yang membayar gaji kita, juga hal yang kita lakukan dalam kehidupan kita. Kemudian beliau menyampaikan bahwa kita tidak menjadi kita adalah bagian dari komunitas. Kepemilikan para pelaku kemanusiaan itu harusnya ada di komunitas, bukan pada seorang pemimpin, bukan pada sekelompok orang atau pada sebuah keyakinan, tapi adalah pada komunitas. Beliau menyampaikan bahwa beliau belajar banyak dari masyarakat di Sudan, di Bosnia, dan mereka adalah guru beliau. Beliau menjadi seperti sekarang adalah karena mereka yang mengajarkan beliau di tingkat masyarakat. Mereka lah pelakunya, scholarnya, para pendidiknya. Dan yang keempat yang sangat penting adalah tidak ada pemujaan. Tidak ada pemujaan kepada organisasi, kepada pemimpin, kepada logo, karena ataupun juga kepada ego. Pemujaan yang berlebihan pada hal tersebut akan menyebabkan kita tidak lagi bekerja dalam bidang kemanusiaan. Yang kelima, beliau menyampaikan bahwa tugas kita semua adalah untuk membangun suasana atmosfer yang memungkinkan komunikasi, pembagian pengetahuan, knowledge sharing, kemudian koordinasi, dan kolaborasi partnership. Jadi tugas kita lah untuk memungkinkan 4 hal tersebut ada, tanpa ego-ego yang tadi, dan melihat bahwa komunitas adalah guru kita, tempat kita kemudian bekerja dan bersama mereka.
Yes, my lady. Religious institution and religious leaders, is that right? Do they have a role? Yes, they have. But quite often we sideline them. I was in a high-level meeting in Geneva, and I mentioned that the religious institution is a part of civil society organization. Some government objected. This is absolutely wrong. We have the knowledge, we have the access, we have the trust more than any NGO or INGO. I'll tell you, in Indonesia, how many thousands of mosques you have here? How many thousands of churches, different kind of churches? I'm talking about this. How many thousands of actually temples, place of worship? You want to sideline all this? You shoot yourself in the head. This kind of sectarianism in humanitarian field is deadly. Absolutely deadly. They are civil society organization like all of us. They have the right to be trained by you. Not you as a nurture, of course by you, but by all of you. They have to be taken by the hand. They have to be told what humanitarianism is, what humanitarian principles are, what's your role in the society as social workers, because they are one of the first few responders to any disasters. You find that the neighborhood, as well as the mosque, the church, the synagogue, and the temple. Before UN comes, before government organization comes, before INGO or NGO or GGO comes to the area. So our duty as INGO, NGO, and government organization, and UN and European Union is to train the religious leaders on the humanitarian principles and make them community leaders who know what to do at the time of justice and at the time of building the community. That's number one. Number two, during tsunami, before we had a lot of issues about the ghusl, ghusl, washing the body up before burial. Actually, even in Ebola, it's a big problem because if you wash the body, the water can contaminate somebody else. The ghusl, the coffin, because there's not many coffin available. Okay, the burial, ritual burial, all these problems happened. Okay, and even the iddat, iddat, when the woman, her husband died, she has to be at home for about 40 days. These were issues. Here, my challenge with the religious leaders, you have to make ijtihad to deal with all these issues and more. Because during disaster, sometimes you cannot apply the full jurisprudence of your religion. You have to make this tajdeed, renewal, and make new opinions. Like if we consider all the dead bodies like shaheed or martyrs, in Islamic theology, shaheed should not be washed, should be buried in their own clothes. At a time when hundreds of thousands of people are underneath our feet, when I was working in Banda Aceh in 2000 and January 2005, because January I came here the end of the first week of January 2005. You can smell the death underneath your feet, the smell of the bodies, and they were in thousands. What kind of operation we need to do? Do you want to burn them? You can't. You have to bury them. But are you going to wash these tens of thousands? Where? And how? And how can you get all the coffins for them in a time like that? Here, we ask ulama, scholars from different groups, different backgrounds, different religions, to sit down together and make a policy for these issues. Even you on Ocha for the first time, at the time of Ubaid, Dr. She's Saudi, Suraya Ubaid. We found that the Muslim woman could not be able to come out of the houses. You know why? Why? Say why. Why? Say why. Why? Yeah, say why. Yeah.
Why?
Thank you. Because the woman did not have hijab.
Oh, yeah.
And for the first time in the history of UN, they put hijab as a part of the local culture. That's for tsunami. Here, when you find the needs of the woman to come out, because she'll be in the house for weeks and weeks, and everybody was saying, where are the women? Where are they? She can't come out because she doesn't have proper dress, actually. And Thuraya Hijab and UNFPA gave both the hijab or the head cover as a cultural ritual of the local community. All these sort of things. We need actually here, as we said, that you have a duty towards the religious leaders. We are asking the religious leaders to have a duty as well, is to make ijtihad, tajdeed, is actually to do this effort to renew the opinions according to the difficult situation. And this where most of the great scholars used to change their opinion when they face different situation. Yes, sir.
Beliau menyampaikan dua hal penting yang bisa kita lakukan karena beliau mengambil pelajaran ketika beliau ke Geneva, ada pertemuan dan peran pemuka keagamaan itu seringkali dikesampingkan, dipinggirkan karena tidak dianggap penting. Padahal pemahaman, pengetahuan, akses, kepercayaan itu dimiliki oleh para pemuka agama. Ada dua hal yang beliau tadi sampaikan, bahwa pertama tentunya kita harus membuat para pemuka agama memahami mengenai standar dan prinsip kemanusiaan, apa yang harus dilakukan pada saat bencana, karena mereka lah yang berhubungan langsung dengan masyarakat. Yang kedua adalah bagaimana para pemuka agama juga kemudian melihat isu-isu dalam penanganan bencana, dalam penanggulangan bencana itu untuk kemudian menyesuaikan dengan kebutuhan. Contohnya adalah beliau menyampaikan bahwa ketika tsunami banyak sekali yang meninggal dan mereka tidak perlu dimandikan karena mereka mati syahid. Sesuai dengan ajaran di mana mati syahid tidak perlu dimandikan. Kemudian saat Ebola juga itu menjadi permasalahan besar ketika kemudian penyakit kemudian berkembang karena orang-orang itu ingin memandikan jenazah. Kemudian beliau menyebutkan juga masa idah ketika wanita kehilangan suami dan tidak boleh keluar rumah. Nah, oleh karena itu dan beliau juga menyampaikan bahwa pertama kali di Aceh kemudian kita UNFPA membeli hijab karena para perempuan itu tidak bisa keluar karena tidak punya hijab. Oleh karena itu peranan para pemuka agama salah satunya adalah kemudian ijtihad, mencoba menemukan hal-hal yang kemudian menjawab tantangan atas masalah penanganan darurat yang terjadi saat bencana.
Thank you. Another point I need to add. Let me imagine how many religious centers we have in Indonesia, like mosques, synagogues, temples, and churches. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, I mean millions of centers. Why don't we use them as shelters? Why don't we bore the UN and other bring tents, okay, fine, very expensive. By the time the tents will come, there's nothing will be there because they ship it from Europe, from Pakistan, from China, and by the time it lands there, it might take a week or 2 or 5 weeks, and it's very cheap. But if we consider that the religious institution centers are our partners, we save a lot of money. We save a lot of time, and we save a lot of effort, and we save a lot of lives. I was in Chechnya in the war, the first war, actually, in the second war, in the November 1999. It was freezing, and families were living in train. One family in each compartment for weeks before the aid material arrived. Actually, so when we look at our centers, you know, I was in Aceh 2 days ago, 3 days ago, and we visited the generator boat, the big one, the ship, 2,600 tons, was pushed by tsunami wave. You know, here is a miracle, which had been mentioned to me by a lady called Lena. 3 waves control the direction of the boat not to destroy the mosques in the area. That's why I find 2 major, the central mosque, the big one, as well as a small mosque near there. Anyway, there's miracle everywhere. That's why you mentioned at the very beginning, some of the religious leaders were asking people to, or you or somebody else, to calm, making the prayer. Actually, huh? Chief, it's you, sir, my lady. Yeah. And this kind of psychosocial support by the words of God in the church, in the mosque, in the synagogue, in the temple, to cool people down and enable people to have the ability to think how to respond. Because responding swiftly and emotionally could be deadly. Okay? But responding after cooling down and having the time to think properly and wisely will let you to do the right decision.
Thank you. Just to inform you, we have 13 minutes more for you. Okay, so
to speak?
Yes.
I'll give them to the audience.
Okay. Yang berikutnya beliau menyampaikan bahwa mengapa kita tidak menggunakan rumah-rumah ibadah yang begitu banyaknya ada di Indonesia sebagai tempat penampungan dibanding kita membawa tenda-tenda yang mahal, yang kemudian juga panas, gitu ya. Dia bercerita pengalaman beliau di Kenya tahun 1995 di mana keluarga-keluarga itu tinggal di dalam tenda dalam kondisi musim dingin yang sangat menyiksa keluarga itu. Nah, di Aceh sendiri ada banyak miracle itu apa ya? Keajaiban yang terjadi. Beliau menyampaikan, diinformasikan bahwa kapal generator listrik yang ada di Aceh yang sekarang menjadi tempat wisata itu disampaikan bahwa pada saat kejadian itu ada 3 gelombang besar yang mendorong kapal tersebut sehingga tidak mendarat di pemukiman, di tempat-tempat rumah-rumah masyarakat, sehingga itu adalah salah satu yang menunjukkan dan tidak menghancurkan masjid, rumah ibadah. Itu adalah salah satu keajaiban yang terjadi yang kita percaya di dalam agama. Nah, begitu juga dengan dukungan psikososial yang bisa diberikan oleh para pemuka agama.
Just to conclude as a message, I mentioned at the very beginning communication, networking, partnership, bridge, all this. Now, it is not luxury. It is a compelling duty on all of us to share the knowledge, to talk to one another, to sit with one another, to communicate with one another, to build the bridges. Don't say that he's Christian and I'm a Muslim, or he's Sufi and I'm Sunni, or he's whatever you call it, is Jews and he's Hindu, and no. If we do this, in my own opinion, we are in the wrong, absolute wrong. We are in a religious way, we are sinners, making big sins. Because as I mentioned earlier on, the knowledge I have, the experience I have, the vision I have, the expertise I have, the fund I have, does not belong to me. It belongs to community. Let us sit down and think, and this is not something you do it as luxury, or just, yes, let us sit down. No, it's a compelling duty on each and every one of us, whether I'm a chairperson, a president, CEO, or officer. We have to become a culture of communication and networking to save the lives of the people who are paying our salaries, who are paying our livelihood, those orphans and those widows and those displaced women and men and elderly are the people who are providing us with our salary. And here we have to look up at them with great respect. If we don't communicate, we do no justice to them and to ourselves. And my acronym or my proverb at the end, connection is protection. If you don't connect, you don't protect. If you connect, you protect. And if you protect, you save life of people, and Allah will bless you all. And you'll be blessed by the community and by everybody. Last point is, every local community is very rich in knowledge, in experience, in vision, in human resources. Use them, please, for God's sake. We were farmers. Our great-grandparents were actually not even educated. Maybe labor forces, laborer, but now we are qualified from universities. We never look back down at our great-grandparents who paved the way for the community to grow. If they did not pave the way for us, we could not have grown to where we are nowadays. Don't stand on the shoulder of your parents and your great-grandparents and demean them and look down at them. They are your origin. And they are the origin of the community. Last statement is, always empower the young people and women. Always. I'm not joking. The organization who does not have young women and young people in their hierarchy, in their executives, is dead organization, or dying organization, or non-existent organization. It might actually stay at the time of the founder, but later on, if you don't have the blood, the young blood, the energy of the young people, the sentimental and the emotional feeling and love of women. Women look at the issue differently because she has been created differently. She treats it from heart, with love, with care. Young people treat this kind of problem with force and energy and power. And wise men, like you people in this room, treat it with wisdom. So you need the love, the care, the compassion of the woman, and the vision of the woman. You need the energy of the young people, and you need the wisdom of the elderly. Three components at any society that actually we have been taught to empower them by our Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and by Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. Yes, sir.
Wow.
Wow.
Let me try. Mari kita lihat ini sangat penting ya. Ada tiga hal yang beliau sampaikan. Yang pertama adalah komunikasi, berjejaring, bermitra, berbagi pengetahuan. Itu bukanlah kemewahan yang kita dapat begitu saja, tetapi adalah kewajiban yang harus kita lakukan. Kita harus berbicara, kita harus membangun jejaring, kita harus bermitra, dan membangun kolaborasi dengan siapapun yang bisa dilakukan, agama apapun, kepercayaan apapun. Karena kalau tidak, karena itu adalah hal yang absolut yang harus kita lakukan. Karena kalau kita tidak melakukannya, maka kita melakukan kesalahan besar di dalam hidup kita. Yang kedua adalah bahwa kita harus menghargai mereka yang ada di komunitas. Kita belajar dari komunitas. Kita menjadi orang lulusan sekolah itu karena orang tua kita yang mungkin tidak sekolah. Kita juga belajar dari mereka yang ada di komunitas yang tidak sekolah. Jangan pernah melihat mereka dengan rendah. Karena dari mereka lah kita tumbuh, dari mereka lah kita kemudian mendapat pengetahuan. Mereka memiliki pengetahuan, mereka yang memiliki visi, mereka memiliki pengalaman yang harus kita hargai. Komunitas lokal adalah mereka yang membangun kita seperti yang dialami oleh Pak Hani Elbana. Yang ketiga adalah bahwa selalu membawa para pemuda dan perempuan di dalam kegiatan kemanusiaan kita. Karena pemuda memberikan darah mudanya, energinya, perempuan memberikan rasa, perasaan hatinya, compassionnya di dalam pekerjaannya. Sebuah organisasi tanpa membawa pemuda dan perempuan adalah organisasi yang mati. Karena mereka lah kita kemudian tumbuh berkembang dengan rasa cinta, dengan hati dalam melakukan kegiatan kita. Dan beliau berharap bahwa cinta, love, compassion, energi itu adalah hal yang kita bawa dari pembelajaran yang diberikan oleh Pak Dr. Hani Elbana. Terima kasih banyak. Thank you very much.
Terima kasih.
My honor to actually sit here. I was not informed before, only 2 days ago, but this is a very big event for me to speak with you.
Astaghfirullah. I am always learning.
Thank you.
And I came to Indonesia to learn more and more and more. And the good thing about Humanitarian Forum here, it stayed up till now with little resources. And I beg every and anyone who is not a member of Humanitarian Forum Indonesia to join. It cannot grow and become stronger unless we join, unless we forget about ego and logo, about our founders and founder syndromes. If we being diseased by our chairmen, no, we don't want to sit down with them, it's wrong, absolutely wrong. So Humanitarian Forum is a bridge that's for all of us to walk through it to safety.
Thank you, Pak. Last statement, which is very important, adalah bahwa beliau senang sekali melihat perkembangan Humanitarian Forum Indonesia dan beliau mengajak mereka yang belum menjadi bagian dari HFI untuk ikut serta karena HFI adalah jembatan untuk keselamatan bersama dengan berbagai pemuka agama yang ada yang berkumpul di dalam HFI. Tadi ada satu hal yang saya lupa, bahwa kalau kita melihat hal yang berhubungan dengan ego, dengan founder, dengan institusi, logo, itu adalah penyakit yang harus kita hindari. Jadi mudah-mudahan dengan sesi ini kita bisa membuang keterikatan atau pemujaan terhadap pimpinan, terhadap organisasi, terhadap logo, terhadap ego. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.